Monday, March 10th, too bloody early. I mean 6:20 a.m. and I've been very busy. Just wanted to check in, see how everybody is. Join me in the chat if you want. Do me a favor though, please leave a, whatever, subscribe or leave comments, just so I know there's people there. Today I feel like I've been put through the ringer, is one of the expressions. I feel totally beaten up this morning. Post fight, it's not a fight. I don't fight. I struggle, like many of us do, with the system. But yeah, I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover. Yeah, toss of the coin, eh? Could be either. Well, I'm sat in Burbank in a parking lot because I was told to arrive here early to have I've never had an MRI before, but I'm having an MRI for myself. But I've been attending since last Wednesday morning, very early. I've been attending my baby mama's hospital where she's had surgery, large surgery, open heart surgery. She's perfectly fine on the mend. But I say perfectly fine. She's not happy, obviously. Nobody would be, but it's the wrong word anyway. The operation was a success. So physically, the operation was a success. It's kind of knocked her sideways, and she's very discombobulated. It's just really, it is a very stressful, stressful thing to have open heart surgery, but she's coming through it. She's doing okay. I'm trying like crazy to make what was our house, but it's her house. Trying to make her house easier to navigate and be in when she comes out of hospital, because she's going to be a couple months on recovery. I'll be there or thereabouts all the time helping out, but yeah. The problem with the healthcare system is it's become statistically driven to the point where you might as well have a patient number and not a name. I mean, the nurses are great, the doctors are great, the staff who work at these places are doing brilliant jobs. But the companies they work for, it's all statistical analysis. It's, oh, how many dollars did you make? You know, it's not. So, it's everything seems to be highlighted as a micro macro. You zoom in, zoom out of the stupidity of living in a world where everything has a bloody price tag. Love, care, compassion, empathy, all of it is they're trying to put price tags on it, and it's like, These are things that are just naturally human. It's not, and I'm not, look, I would love to have money. That would be awesome. I've always had enough to be able to get by and roof over my head, food in my stomach. There's been times when I've been riding high, and there's been times when I've been riding very low, and I'm so used to the push me, pull you game. But the point being is, it's not about the money, it's about control. And the problem we have is people are controlling people with money. They're starving you out. You know, we're hostages of our own governments, and the ones who are diehard and are going to stick to their guns and I'm going to stand firm, they'll starve you out. Oh man. Anyway, I don't want to paint too dark a picture because there's not much light in here, so I'm not going to paint a dark picture. We're getting our awareness highlighted in these situations. The awareness of those that know and understand how badly broken the system is, and those who know and understand who are just realizing, oh my God, really? So, anyway, I'm going to take a bigger picture, step outside of myself and look at Southern California where I live. Many people had everything taken away from them by fires that were absolutely preventable, and in some cases were the result of just absolute buffoonery in local companies and government controls and federal government controls, and they were just absolute buffoonery. I mean, it's just the most ridiculous things. Finding out recently about the Altadena fire, and the power company, which obviously these power companies, they subdivide them down so it's not the electric company anymore or General Electric. You know, Southern California Edison, they left they left they the power lines, they left them open. They could have turned the power off. There was major windstorms. They could have switched all the power off and inconvenienced the people of Altadena for a couple days. But they could have switched the power off during the windstorm, knowing that they'd left open, exposed power lines next to uh, dry prairie grass and stuff that wasn't taken care of by another department. You know, it's like when you subdivide all these companies and all they're interested in is profit. Well, that's not my job. And then they even lie. They deflect things. I mean, Edison are struggling to deflect this because it's all on camera how the fire started. So in that case, it's particularly obvious that it was negligence by the company. The, they're still trying to deflect it. I mean, one of the first things they did, oh, it's the homeless. They started a fire. It wasn't that fire. I mean, not saying there wasn't a fire from the homeless, but there was a controlled fire. We're talking about a complete wildfire that came up during a windstorm because of California Edison not doing what they should do. So there's going to be a lot of court cases, and sadly, I think it's like 8,000 people were made homeless from that fire alone. Homeless. I mean, and the insurance companies are all saying, well, it's not really, you know, that all sorts of things are happening right now. This is going to take years and years and years and years to get through the court system, to get compensation, to get people back in house. I just, I see the lack of care amplified. That's the problem with being in the micro macro of a situation is you see the lack of care amplified by companies, but the companies give their employees no wiggle room for taking care of a person's personal needs, because we're all different and we all have personal differences. But it's like now none of that is any more saluted. And there are some brilliant people. Obviously, in the fire situation, there were some incredible men and women that took to the front lines and fought the fire. But the fire put those people in danger, and it was done with very little or care of anything regarding safety. I mean, California Edison knew this was a problem, and they're lying about. I mean, and Palisades fire. I don't know how the legal side of that is going to shift. But gosh, there's a systemic there's a systemic failure that we're witnessing, and it's in it's like, oh, that's why that hospital didn't do that, because this happened. It's systemic failure, little bits, but it's the system. The system is failing, and the system has failed. It's only a few good people that still continue to do good work because they have a conscience and because they have compassion and they have empathy. They're the glue that's holding these companies together, and and they're treated like expendables. So, troublemaker. Oh, yeah, yeah. So I'm amping up my love. I'm amping up my compassion. I'm amping up my contribution to this ugly system of humanity that is running at the moment. It won't run forever. It's almost done. And the trouble is, a lot of people are not truly aware of the system failing and then being in a position to replace it with something that's better, something that really cares for each other, for our communities. You've got to start caring, really caring for each other. And it's been in a, you if you're raised in a dog eat dog world, the best wins and the fighters, and it's like that adjustment to, wait a minute, I don't care how much I'm getting paid. I can't do this cruelty. It's coming to that. We're mankind, not man cruel. Stay kind, stay loving, stay compassionate, help others, but recognize that the system isn't there as it should be. It's not there as it should be. The system doesn't care. It's a machine that makes money and it eats people. You are a human being, and you need to be more kind and caring and loving and compassionate. I'm going to try and do that today, even within a system that is so sadly broken. All right, I love you, and sorry if it sounded a bit down, but I'm very tired, working very hard at trying to help somebody else and help people, and it's just very tiring sometimes. And yeah, So let's try and stay on the light side, get that balance right. All right, that's enough for live. I'll see you later. Cheers then. Love you. Bye.